Welcome to Sailing Europe Frida of Wisby. We left our hectic business life to go sailing with Frida of Wisby and our cat Litza. Our goal for the spring 2021 is to reach the Mediterranean Sea. Welcome to this episode of Sailing Europe Frida of Wisby. In this episode we will do some more sightseeing in Brest and look at Molenbeek Marina, and we will prepare for our biggest challenge so far, the crossing of the Bay of Biscay, which is notoriously known among sailors and seafarers that it's a very dangerous stretch of water. Why is it so dangerous to cross the Bay of Biscay? Well, let's look at the topology of the bay. And then you can see that the Atlantic Ocean goes all the way into the bay, and then it meets the European continental shelf. So the water, the depth of the water goes from around 4,000 meters to just a couple of hundred meters in a very short distance. That makes the waves, the long Atlantic dunes, becomes short and choppy and very high in very short time. Add to that the depressions coming in from the Azores makes a hard westerly wind, so that adds to the waves. So the waves can build up very quickly, and that makes it dangerous. In the southern end, the problem is that the temperature difference between land and water can be quite big, because Spain is a hot country and the water of the Atlantic Ocean is not so hot, therefore, or warm. Therefore, there will be create fog, so there can quickly come up very dense fog banks. Add to that the coastline is very rough, mostly cliffs with short beaches, but the cliffs is all around and also out in the water. So that's why the Galician coast is called Costa Morte, or the coast of death. In the old days, when you had the tall ship, the sail ships, if they were pushed by the wind and current, because there's a current that pushes into the corner, it's actually a Gulf Stream that pushes into the corner of the bay, they could have difficulties to get out of the Bay of Biscay due to that they could not go upwind. So that's why the Bay of Biscay has a reputation of being one of the most dangerous waters on earth. Here in Molenbeek Marina there is a few restaurants. I just realized that this one is open to takeaway. There's another one, and over there by where it says Paul's, there is a bakery. And it's a beautiful day, and right now there's even a little like Tivoli for kids, a carousel. Seems like the French like that. This is where I kayaked yesterday. Great place for all sorts of water sport. This hill is not steep, but it's long, and you need to get all the way up to the top to reach the supermarket. Getting to the bridge is like they have an old bridge. You can walk and bike, and then they have built the new car bridge with those pillar pontoons next to it. So that's why you hear car noise. fantastic view of the bay. So beautiful. It's such a lush green area. So cute. But I think I'm coming up to a more residential area now. It's so lovely here. You feel like you could slowly walk around here forever and just enjoy the green and the birds singing. I think I should go back. Nice bakery, and they spoke English. So now I have 2 wonderful French baguettes and a fresh bread. We have bought some new lines. Hello!
Hello!
What are you doing now?
I'm deconnecting all the instruments so that they are not connected to the autopilot, giving them power, and instead connecting them through the instruments through the Raymarine NG network instead of this old Sea-Talk network, which is what the Raymarine engineers told me to do, so that's what I'm aiming at.
And that,
also connecting one more of those, because they can only do 5 instruments, and I have one over here which all the instruments are connected through to, and that's like 10 instruments going through that one. It's one of those with a yellow in between.
Yeah.
And it can do conversation converting between the 2 networks, but maximum 5 units, and it has had 10 units to handle. So now 5 there, 5 there, and hopefully it's going to get better.
Make the network a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
So
Because it's a computer network.
it's a computer network.
Can be.
Well, we know about the failure of them. Both Anders and I have been working with computers before.
Overloading a network is never good.
Never a good idea. It's on! It's on!
Is everything on?
Yes, but it says it has no fix and no autopilot.
Yeah, because I have no autopilot on.
Okay.
What?
Det hade varit lite roligt.
Vi kör discomusik och så kommer vi inte mycket
Ja,
längre.
men nu har vi ingen vind längre.
Som efternamn.
Ja, så gör jag också. Jag har båtnamn som efternamn.
E-posten ni har
Men skrev du någonting i meddelandet? För jag får meddelanden men jag ser inte att jag skrivit någonting.
Vi har
Jag skrev testa
Gemensamt.
från 4
planeringsmöte inför
Varför kommer det ingenting där?
färden över Biscaya.
Kan du inte godkänna att du tittar på det, menar jag? Om du klickar okej.
Och just nu håller vi på att
Om inte
se
jag
till
ser
att vi har varandras Garmin-kontakter. Ja. One part of the preparation for crossing Biscay. Pre-cooking. Quite a lot of meat. I found a nice beef meat here. It's called högrev in Swedish, which makes really good stew, and you can also thread it almost the same way as you do with pulled pork. Really nice meat. It wasn't even expensive, at least not compared to Swedish prices. I'm going to cook this with some herbs, lots of onion and garlic in the pressure cooker, about hour, 1.5. It already smells delicious. And then you can, when this is finished, you can use it for many things. Cut it into pieces, you put it in a pasta sauce, or pull it apart, make a burger. Almost anything. First boat out is Litza, heading out towards the Bay of Biscay.
Hasta luego! See you in Spain! We are lost. And that's not going to be a problem, you said.
No.
Yeah.
We will soon be
Ready?
where they are.
We taking the electricity. I don't think we will refuel. We have enough fuel.
Now we have 500 liters. That will do.
Yeah. So we don't have to use time for that. So we are almost ready for departure.
Yeah.
Are leaving Marina du Moulin Blanc here in Brest. It's been nice here. Very, very calm weather, and the forecast for Biscay looks great. So we are looking forward to a great sail over the Bay of Biscay. So we have left Brest, and our friends have just called us at the radio and said that we are not visible at the AIS, but we don't really know what the fault is, because it looks to us like we are sending, but they can't see us, but we can see them, so we continue anyway and see if we can figure out. Maybe a reboot will do the trick. What a beautiful ship. That's an excellent way to say goodbye to Brest. We didn't see so much of the town, but we liked it here, and we liked the Moulin Blanc Marina. It was a relaxed feeling, which is what we like. So, and we are on the way, and the weather is perfect. I have taken off both the fall weather trousers and my thick woolen sweater.
I have still a woolen on me, but that will soon be taken off, because this is warm.
It's really warm. I don't know how warm, but it feels like almost 20 degrees already.
Yeah.
Så här skönt kan man ha det.
var ganska fin den här båten, men inte när jag ensam. Nej, jag tittar på den på Marine Traffic. Det ser ut som det skulle kunna röra på sig. Kom.
Right in front of us we have Vision, and before that I think it's Salsa that we can see. And before them there is the fourth Swedish boat, Tossan.
En skena som båda delar på sig.
Okej.
Och en måste jag flytta.
As usual, just as we are going to eat our lunch, we get a little bit more wind. So we are going good now. What speed do we have?
8.5.
8.5 knot. So flying.
Salsa is doing 7.5.
Okay. So we are catching up on her. So maybe you should eat your lunch before it gets entirely cold.
Yeah.
Or falls into my lap.
Yeah. Jenny.
Jenny, det låter ju också svenskt.
Ja, det går fort. Bra från här. Vi går på det.
Känns det som att det brallar i lite? Mycket blåser det?
Ja, det låter 15, 16, 17.
Okej. Okay. 17 knots. So now we have adjusted the course and turned south. So now we are going almost directly towards La Coruña. So this is the way we're going to have it for the next
If the wind
2 days.
change.
If the wind doesn't change. Woo! Haha, you got a shower? So the wind is supposed to go down a little. It's quite windy. I don't know if you can see, there is quite a lot of white horses or whatever it's called. White geese, we say in Swedish.
It's 8 to 10 meters per second or 17 to 20
Knots.
knots.
Yeah. So, but it's a big water. We have a current against us. About
Yeah, We're doing 7.5 knots through water, but only 5 knots
Yeah. So
over ground.
so 2.5 knots current against.
2.5 knots
So,
current against us.
but it feels good.
We're moving anyway.
We are moving. And over there we have our friends in salsa, and behind them we have vision. It's very calm, but due to the dunes we are a bit rolly anyway. But we are settling in. This, of course, is much calmer than the other one. But I'm doing quite okay. And we are quite well grouped together, the three of us. And this is another one that is coming up from behind. And that's another Swedish boat. He's a solo sailor. He's going a little bit further west than the rest of us. So now the boat is aboard. And I pour it over some of the delicious smell. And once it's brewed, I will pour it over to the jammers. Time for our first dinner on Biscay. We eat inside. But we have Jack on the bumper and also Mr. So nothing near, so now we can eat between the clouds. Others is coming up. Bedtime here on the Biscay, first night on Biscay. So now I'm gonna sleep. Good night. When I came up for my second night shift, the moon was behind some thin white clouds, which made the sky and the sea shimmer like silver. It was stunningly beautiful, and the wind and the waves had calmed down. It was incredibly peaceful. I think that was my best night shift ever. 4.1, 4.3 knots, somewhere between 4 and 4.5 knots. It's a bit slow, but we'll have a brief general. And I think it's enough. For me it's okay that it goes a little bit slower on during the night. 4,000 meters deep where we are now. It's quite amazing. Still have some moonlight. It's beginning. Slowly beginning to get a little lighter. There's the beginning of the sunrise. Can't see the sun yet. Started the engine about 20 minutes ago, and I think it was within a couple of minutes we had, I think it was 3 dolphins. I'm still really happy. What a morning. Second day of Biscay. Hope you liked this episode. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the little bell button.